Hey everyone, meet Kevin Paffrath here. A member of the Wall Street Journal editorial board just ran a very powerful piece suggesting that a Republican could potentially be the next governor of California. But they got something very wrong. It's very dark and it's something that's very gloomy that everybody should be aware of, whether you are in California or not. The Wall Street Journal article refers to anger in California. People are upset. Why do we have the 5th largest economy in the world but the most homelessness, and we're the bottom 20% of schools? There are a lot of problems in California, and they're right. But they got something dangerously wrong in their article. This is the article here. Could a conservative replace Gavin Newsom in the Wall Street Journal? And right here, they got something correct. They mention that Larry Elder might be the top polling Republican, but he is behind Democrat Kevin Paffrath. That's me. I'm a 29-year-old YouTube personality, they say, and I consider myself a JFK-style Democrat who can bring both sides together. But more on that later. What's more important is what the Wall Street Journal got wrong. And that's right here. If we search for the phrase veto, the Wall Street Journal suggests that Larry Elder, or potentially another Republican, would be open to using the veto pen aggressively. That is, if you get a Republican governor in, maybe they can finally stop some of the nonsense that happens in the legislature, some of the laws that just don't have common sense. Hey, throw a Republican in, they'll be able to stop it, right? Well, this is where a little bit of context is useful. So here, they suggest that the legislature hasn't overwritten a veto since Jerry Brown's first stint as governor in '79, and mentioned that Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he was a semi-Republican, vetoed hundreds of bills and not a single one of them was overwritten. So in other words, the Wall Street Journal is making the argument that, hey, let's throw a Republican governor into California politics and let's let them potentially just veto anything that they want against the Democrats. But here's something the Wall Street Journal, in my opinion, totally missed and somewhat maliciously missed because, quite frankly, they should have done this research. Here's the thing. Prior to today, California Democrats were a different makeup of power against Republicans. Take a look at this. The years that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in office were 2003 to 2010. And what I have here in red are state assembly and Senate elections. In 2002, Democrats had 60% control in the Assembly, 62.5% control in the Senate. And you could see how this evolved. The Senate stayed stable at 62.5% power with Democrats throughout Arnold Schwarzenegger's governorship, and the Assembly actually became a little bit more left-leaning with 64% power in 2008. But there's something really crucial to know before you keep going on. In order to actually override the governor's veto, you really need a 67% party supermajority, because it's unlikely a Republican would join in vetoing a Republican veto or overriding a Republican veto. So the Assembly and Senate would need 67% of their members to override a veto. But as you can see here, at no point did Democrats actually have the supermajority specifically during Arnold Schwarzenegger's term. But something changed in the last few years in California, and this is very critical for folks to know. Look at what happened in 2018. In 2018, we had 75% Dem control in the Assembly, and we still do today. In 2018, we also got 72.5% Democratic control in the Senate. This, folks, right here is known as a super majority. And this is the big danger with California politics. If California elects a Republican to the governorship, Democrats will have zero incentive to work with that Republican because guess what? We have a 2022 election coming up. And let's be real, why would a supermajority of Democrats that could overturn any veto from a Republican governor hand any win to a Republican governor right before an election cycle? It's not going to happen. A Republican getting in as governor would be a lame duck governorship. It doesn't make sense. Now, some folks say, but wait a minute, Donald Trump got in. He was able to make changes in the presidency, whether you like him or not. Right, but for the first 2 years of his administration, he had a Republican House and a Republican Senate. A Republican governor getting in California would have neither of those. And they'd be against a supermajority from the other side. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't fault the Republicans for running against Gavin Newsom. I believe that Gavin Newsom is not the leader that California needs. I believe California needs a centrist, JFK-style Democrat to lead California and fix the massive problems that we have. We need to restore California's exceptionalism. And that's why I implore you to check out my plan at meetkevin.com. Go to meetkevin.com/donate. Support the campaign if you like my plans. They're centrist, they're moderate, and they can bring Democrats and Republicans together to provide common sense solutions. And also, because I'm a Democrat, even though I'm a JFK-style Democrat, because I'm a centrist Democrat, Democrats won't be shy to hand a win to a fellow Democrat in Congress, which gives me the best ability to work with the California legislature and make sure that we can right the ship we're on. Because right now, we're on a sinking ship. This is why, folks, electing a Republican in California is a big mistake, at least in this recall election. And so with that said, go to meetkevin.com/donate, support the campaign, and vote yes on recall and yes on Kevin Paffrath for governor. That's Paffrath. Thank you.